Hey Star Wars fans, what's going on? So what we're doing today is we're customizing Savi's lightsaber. So this is my Savi saber. It was silver. As you can see, we've gone in and added several layers of dirt. I really caked it on for a very specific reason. Why would I want it to look this dirty? The reason is because we are going to grind off the base paint. Now this is a spare piece and it was painted, I believe, from the nature and elemental section. And as you can see, when you grind off the paint, or if you strip the paint somehow, has a really nice aluminum finish underneath. And if you don't strip all of it, you can still get that weathered look to it, provided you selectively grind it off. So what I did was I caked on a lot of shoe polish and some various other elements, and I went in and I made sure it got into the cracks and crevices really deep in there. And then I let it dry, and now I'm going to go in and grind off some of the outer bits that are metal so that some of the paint and the dust remains and some of it does not. And it's going to go in and kind of give me a highlighted look. So for effect, I'm going to show you the first piece that I'm going to work on. And then I'm going to show you this piece, for example, and how that's going to change. Now, what we're using, actually I have the box, I can show it to you. We're using just a basic 3-inch little grinder polisher with an extension tool, and you can get that at Harbor Freight for like 30 bucks. If you use the coupon like I did, you can get it really cheap for like 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on and grind. Finny, you're going to have to go hide for me. Okay, kiss your dog. Be good to your dogs. So this has a setting from 0 to 1,000 RPMs. There's two sides. There's two pads. This pad is a dusting pad. This pad with all the protection is a grind pad. We're not going to use the grinder. We're going to use the duster today. You need to wear... Where's my shit? Probably a good idea to wear a respirator. Even though I'm wearing glasses, you're going to want to wear your safety glasses. I can't find mine, so I'm picking up a new set just for this. Always be safe. Later, we'll be using some different powders and things to finish, so you're going to want to wear your mask as well. So I also recommend you do not wear gloves with this. The gloves can get caught in the grinder, and then you're screwed. You're better off just going with hands. So let's just take a look at this right here, and this is what I'm going to hit first. Immediately you can see the primer and then the aluminum underneath. Now you got to turn it up really high and don't press down too hard. As you can see, that shines much better than the standard paint job. But you don't want to get rid of all the primer and all the paint. And the reason is you do want to have, and bear in mind it heats up, so do it in little spurts. And I'm going to fast forward the video as I go through this, but I want to do the first little bit here. Alright. Apologize about that volume. Now if we go through, look at that. So now we have this very nice bit of silver all the way around. So now if we went through and did this on the whole thing, a lot of this grime and grit is going to come off, but we're not going to do all of it. We're going to do it in bits, in small parts, selectively, and see what we end up with. So let's do the other parts of the saber and see what we come up with at the end. All right, so as you can start to see, we're grinding out some of the pieces here. Obviously, there's going to be some finishing that we have to do, some buffing.
The grinder's not going to get everything. But already you can see so much more chromy, so much more shiny, and then inside some of the grit hangs out. We're gonna go over it, probably with some airbrush metallic black paint, which I believe is just black with graphite powder mixed into it. And then we're gonna hit some of these pieces, some of these pieces, this piece, and really take off some of that grit and grime. But just like compare the paint job versus the buffed look, like, this is insane. I mean, you look at what that looks like versus what this looks like. It's no contest. It's going to be gorgeous. So if, you know, and then we throw it in. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. I look like an idiot. So when you throw it on, it's just gonna be fantastic. So we're gonna keep at it with this, and we'll have a finished product very, very soon. But just to kind of revisit, this is what the nature piece looks like when you tear it up. And as you can see, a lot of that imperfection is right into the aluminum. It's not even mostly the paint job. So really gorgeous look, really great finish. We're gonna have some fun with this. So this is gonna come out.
Okay, so we ground everything down. We painted. Let's take this from the beginning, step by step. So first we took the Savi saber, we hit it with shoe polish, brown and black washes in various levels. I then took some oxidizing distressed ink sprays and I hit it with some mist there. I made it really dirty looking, several layers. Let all that dry. The whole thing was coated in gunk. It just was dirty as shit. And then we went in and started grinding it down using a buffer wheel that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. Using the gray side, buffed it out, and what we end up with is this. Gorgeous looking chrome, fantastic. So what happened is I've gone in and buffed it down to the bare aluminum and then polished that. So the grinder does that. You press hard to get the paint off, and then you do it lightly to buff and get rid of any sand lines, so to speak. And it just shines beautifully, looks gorgeous. I did not completely remove all the paint. So if we get in close, you can see I left so much of it in certain places because I really wanted it to have that sort of dirty look. I wanted it to have some wear and tear. I wanted to get the feeling that, you know, maybe this was a saber from the Clone Wars and it had a bunch of wear and tear. So around the activator switch particularly, left a lot of wear and tear. I also went in and painted this gold because I am going to go in, I think, now that I've looked at it. I think I am actually going to go in, and I have a sloth furnace around here somewhere. Yeah. So much crap. I do have a sloth furnace card, which is, of course, that translucent yellow with the chrome pins on it. So I may go in and paint the pins chrome over that to give it a little bit more of that kind of sloth furnace look. Or I may just tape that piece and glue it on over that and just use a standard clip. But around the button, you can see that. I can't, but you can. Just that by not grinding away all of it, you see some of the primer and some of the duller silver paint. It just gives you that very, very old, oily, mechanical look, which I really like. And then, as of course, you get down to the pommel, a lot of the original weathering is still preserved. But I went in and gunked it up. I thought about doing a Luke V2 style with the black. I thought that'd be too much black, but this just cleans up beautifully, and it's gorgeous, and it is chrome, and has a clear coat finish over it. I actually used a glaze clear coat finish, so it's a triple thick glaze finish, like what you would do a plate on, and that took very nicely. So yeah, overall, if you're doing the Savi saber, I 100% recommend you grind it down and expose the aluminum. The test piece I did earlier in the video was one of the nature pieces, and that looks great when you grind it down. So I definitely say go ahead and do that, and it'll take your Savi saber and make it just that much nicer. and that much more custom, and then you can visit repainting it or whatever you want with it. But next step for me, I think I'm going to get out an airbrush, and I think I'm going to Kylo heat burn the emitter here and give a little bit of that going. And I'm going to finish off this clamp card. But this sucker looks great. It's ready to go, and it still works. So thanks for tuning in. Again, I recommend the Savi Saber. Customize it.